In today's video, I am going to be sharing with you some tips on how to overcome self-doubt as a fashion designer. Why focusing on your own lane is so freaking important, and cutting loose those peeps who just don't really support you. And always reminding you, this is what I love. I want to always remind you of the woman, the designer, the entrepreneur that you desire to be. Being creative is who you are. Embody it. Don't be scared of this. Celebrate it and become your brand and know your worth. So I do hope you enjoy this week's video. A big welcome to my YouTube channel. I just have to say, actually, I am loving this YouTube journey so far. I have overcome my own self-doubt and my fears and started this channel with no expectation of how it was going to go, but I just love it. It's an amazing platform. So I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody who watches my videos and who subscribes, because I really do appreciate it so much. My name is Caroline Matthews, and I am an award-winning fashion and bridal designer and also the founder of the Luxe Collective. The Luxe Collective is a platform to educate, inspire, motivate and help really other fashion designers to build a powerhouse personal brand and fashion business that is absolutely unapologetically themselves on the inside and out. This channel is all about everything that encompasses being a fashion designer, being a woman, and helping you to create that dream business that you have longed for and you've probably dreamt about since you were 4, if you're anything like me. I want to give you the lowdown on what it takes to build your creative empire, but to also build you as a woman and as a designer, and to share with you some of the lessons that I have learned so you can go out there and have a badass fashion business. The inspiration for this week's video has come from a meeting I actually had last week with, she's an amazingly talented fashion designer based out in LA, and we jumped on a call and had a really nice chat, and I was asking her what her biggest fears were, and one of the biggest fears that she had was about overcoming self-doubt. And, I was just sat on the phone going, oh my God, boy, I could really resonate with her. Self-doubt is such a biggie. It's such a massive fear we all have as designers, especially female designers. As a woman who is talking all about this and sharing my experiences, I want this week's video to go deep down and dirty on self-doubt. I hope you love this video, and if you do, I would be unbelievably grateful if you could give me a massive thumbs up. And if you are new to my channel, please do consider subscribing so you absolutely do not miss an episode, and you can join our tribe, and it would be amazing, and I'd love you forever. Okay, let's start this week's video. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the power of focusing on your strengths and not your weaknesses. Number one thing is that, we are trained to think about the weaknesses that we have and how we can always improve something and how we can always be a better designer, a better woman, a better entrepreneur. And I have done this myself. I have focused on all of the things that I am yet to achieve and the things I am yet to learn. And it wasn't until I actually had a chat with my coach at the time, and she was like, man, you've got to focus on your strengths, girl. Focus on your strengths, because there will always be things in your fashion business that you are not good at. Of course there will be. Embrace them. Don't freak out over them. And, just remember that the things that you are not good at, you go out and get help with. We should always be staying in our zone of genius 100% of the time. The way we can do that is by focusing on our strengths. You know, one of the things that I get to do with my clients, and I love them to do this, and I actually do it myself and I have it saved on my laptop, is to write a list of my accomplishments. Write a list of everything that I have achieved so far in my life and in my business. Everything from winning awards to, you know, dressing celebrities, to building a website, to bringing on amazing clients, to, you know, creating a fashion brand and a label and a new collection, whatever it is. Write all those accomplishments down and refer back to them when you're feeling like a hot mess designer who sucks ass. If you're feeling like a designer who's sucking ass, you're not focusing on what you're good at. Focus on your strengths, and I promise you, if you can do this, of course, the things that you're not very good at are always going to show up, because that's what our brain does. It shows us that we've got to keep doing, we've got to keep going and going and going. But honestly, focus on what you are good at, your strengths. If you are good at designing, and if you're good at like talking on video and promoting your label that way, focus on that, hone in on that, boss out your skills in that. If you are shit at writing blog posts and you don't like going on MailChimp, don't do it. You know, get yourself a VA, but always focus on that and be living in a peak state of awesomeness all the time, because that is where your zone of genius lies. That is where you'll become a badass, and that is where you will start to overcome the self-doubt and start to be more confident. Which actually brings me on to the second thing that I wanted to talk about, which is why confidence is everything. You know, you've got to have an amazing, loving relationship with yourself. In fact, I'm going to go quite as far as saying you've got to have a bit of a love affair with yourself. I think I mentioned this in another video, but you've got to have an amazing love affair with yourself. Not everyone is going to like what you're doing. I've spoken about this before, but who gives a shit? You know, that isn't what counts. If you can always know that what you are doing is your best, that your collection is good, that you love what you do, this starts to build confidence. You know, because there are going to be so many people who tell you are shit. There are going to be so many people who don't like what you're doing. You're going to get a million gazillion no's from buyers, from boutiques who you just don't fit their vibe. But you've got to have that confidence, and you've got to really, really, really be on your game all the time. When I spoke about this in another video where I always wear my own fashion, I have become insanely shamelessly in promoting myself. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. I have gone through years of always wondering what anybody else is going to think. Are they going to like me? Are they going to like my collection? And I've now really embraced who I am as a woman. I'm confident in who I am. I know that the collections that I put out, as long as I put them out from my gut, from a place that feels amazing and feels authentic and is absolutely unapologetically me, then I am always staying true to myself as a designer and as a woman. And what I've also done is I've stopped surrounding myself with people who have a negative impact on my life. I literally only surround myself with friends, with colleagues that light me up and that, you know, who inspire me and who are my biggest cheerleaders. That might sound a little bit big-headed, but Jesus, we've got to have this as creative entrepreneurs, because we are always in a mindset of creation and wanting to, you know, create amazing things and become a visionary. You know, that is how I see fashion designers. We are visionaries. So we need to be around people who, you know, who support our vision and who believe in our vision, and who, when we're feeling a little bit shitty or feeling down, that, you know, you can rely on these people. I have amazing friends who message me every single day, and, you know, they send me cups like this. Good vibe cups. My tagline is big love and good vibes. And I have a friend who sent me this cup because he believes that I should be emitting that every single day, and he wants me to remind myself of how much I'm appreciated. As soon as I got rid of people who did not believe in me, who were almost like that, you know, those vampires who just suck all of the energy out of you and like leave you with negative shit. When I got rid of all these people and surrounded myself with not only women who I could inspire and help and motivate, but also they could do the same for me, it really, really changed my mindset. And it's so, so, so important. The next thing I wanted to talk about was never giving up. Now, I wanted to talk about this really quickly. And a long time ago, when I first started my fashion label, I had zero cash. There was a lot of times, there's not a lot of people who know this, but there were times when I literally had £10 in the bank. £10 in the bank, and it was like a choice between putting petrol in my car to be able to go to my studio that was extortionately expensive, to eat, or to get on the bus and get to my studio. Now, I've gone through months of that, and I felt very alone. I felt like I was never going to make it. I felt like, the collection was just not going to go somewhere. And it really does kind of drive you down, especially as a creative. But I want to tell you, you've not got to give up. I did a Facebook Live last week on never giving up, because I woke up one morning and I suddenly realized that in all of my years of being a designer, which is a long time, I have never ever given up. I have never once stopped my dream. I have had shit things happen. I have lost things. As I've told you, I have had factories burn down. I have had women run off with wedding dresses. I have had people not pay. I have had collections do amazingly well, and then I've been absolutely broke for months. But I've never ever given in. I've never ever given up. Loads of people told me that I should not become a fashion designer, that it was going to be too hard. The industry was too hard. You needed loads and loads of money to become who you really wanted to be. And I never listened to it. I did listen to it in the beginning, and I just thought, right, okay, I'm not going to do this. And then one day I was like, actually, this is bullshit. This is my dream. This is what I've wanted to do since I was 4. So please never, ever, ever give in. Build your confidence. Have the faith in you and your brand. Because when you do that and you step into that and you get rid of all the negative bullshit that is around you, and you never give in, and you start to understand and appreciate the accomplishments that you've made, you build that self-confidence in you. And the final thing that I wanted to just mention is to accept your failures as lessons. I am a very impulsive woman and designer and person. I was always told that that was a bad thing because I went with my gut. If something felt right, I would run with it. And I would think about the consequences and all the rest of it as I went through it. Probably not the most amazing advice that I could give you, but I'm impulsive and I go with my gut feeling, and normally it feels amazing. Normally it will always serve me, but it has to give you that, that feeling that you get in your stomach, those butterflies that actually make you feel excited so much, that they're the kind of things that you should be doing. If it doesn't work out for whatever reason, it is okay. It does not mean you are a bad person. It does not mean that you are a shit designer. It does not mean that you are not a badass in your business. All it means is that you have to learn from these failures. They are all lessons. And I will tell you, I have a lesson book of 101 failures, if not more. And I now just see them as my growth. They're my growth as a designer. They're my growth as a woman. So have that belief in yourself that it will always work out exactly how it is supposed to do. Trust me, it will. I promise you. That is just my video today. I hope it has inspired you. I hope it has given you a bit of food for thought on why overcoming self-doubt is absolutely key to being a fashion designer. So important. Staying true to who you are is what will take you far. And I want you to remember that fashion is an outside expression of who you are on the inside. You cannot outsource your voice. It is your heart. It is your soul as a designer and as a creative. You have an amazing gift. You were born to do this. Have the belief in who you are as a woman first and foremost, and then as a designer. Get rid of negative shit. Only do what fills your tummy with those butterflies that make you want to be sick because you are so excited. Own it. Live it, love it, and be true to yourself 150% and your brand. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and give me a massive thumbs up. And I would love to hear what your journey is like as a fashion designer, how you're getting on, because I just love seeing everyone succeed, and you are my biggest inspiration. So thank you so much for watching this week's video. Big love and good vibes.